I hope you all are doing very well. And here in this session, we are going to discuss about criteria of selecting sample procedure. So before discussing this lecture, you must know about that while choosing the sample procedure, there are two kind of costs that are associated with it, right? So the two costs that is associated for sample analysis are like first cost of you can say that incorrect results or incorrect inferences. So cost of incorrect inferences, and the second is cost of collecting the data. Cost of collecting the data. Now, based on that, we can discuss that cost of incorrect inferences. Cost of incorrect inferences can be caused due to systematic bias or sampling error. So let's discuss first what is systematic bias, and thereafter we are going to discuss about what is sampling error. So if we talk about systematic bias, systematic bias, then in case of systematic bias, following can be the reason. The first one is inappropriate sampling frame. It can be like that whatever we want to sample, or let's say for a particular research study, we want to choose a random sampling frame, but the chosen sampling frame doesn't associated or doesn't match with the exact purpose. So if we are going to choose inappropriate sampling frame, definitely it is going to give us systematic bias, because the universe that we are selecting for sample is biased, right? That is why it can be one of the reason. The second one is defective measuring device. So whatever measuring device we are using for our research study, if it is having defective or it is having some kind of error, definitely for each measurement it is going to give us wrong entry. It is going to give us wrong results, and one by one it is going to create a systematic bias. The third reason that can be possible is non-respondents. It can be like that whatever individuals we have selected in our samples, they are unable to give the you can say that they are unable to give their own views, or we can say that we are unable to collect the sample of all individuals equally, right? So if we are unable to get the uh, results, or we are unable to get the samples of all individuals equally, definitely it is going to create a systematic bias again. It can be the reason. The fourth one is interdependency of indeterminacy principle. Indeterminacy principle is that basically if we want to get the result, then results can be get under observation, and it can be get under non-observation, and it can be get under non-observation, right? So what happened exactly, that let's say if we are surveying any industry, that how its employees are working, right? So if we are observing them, and employees also know that we are observing them, employees know it, then the nature of employees will definitely change. They will work maybe slowly because they know the timing is, let's say, 8 to 5. So timing is like that. So the nature of employee may be change due to they know that they are under observation condition, and they may take some more time for doing the same work. They may take more time for doing the same work, while if they are put under non-observation, right, they don't know and we are also not observing, let's say, then the same work can be done fastly, because the nature of employees in that condition when they don't know that they are under observation, the nature of work can be fastly, it may be so. So that is an indeterminacy principle, and due to this there can be a systematic bias, right? The next one is natural bias in the reporting of data. So natural bias is just like that. If we are asking about let's say we are asking about some individuals or some group of peoples about their income, and if we are asking about for the purpose of fulfilling the text, they may hide some information. They may not say us their true feelings. They may give some biased information. Whereas if we are going to talk the income for the purpose of social status, for the purpose of social status, definitely they may give this time again untrue true feeling, but this time they may give some more income. Let's say if the persons are earning 5 lakh per year, in this condition, in tax condition, they may say that around 3 to 4, right? So this is called as downward bias. This is called as downward bias. Whereas if we are asking about social status, they may tell us 7 to 8 lakh per annum. This is called as upward bias. This is called as upward bias. And this is called as natural bias, right? It can be happening in any cases. I just took the example of one case here, right? So such kind of factors like inappropriate sampling frame, defective measuring device, non-respondents, interdeterminacy principle, and natural bias in reporting data, they can create a systematic bias, right? I hope up to here it is clear. Now let's discuss about sampling error now. So the sampling error is like it is the difference between the results of a sample that is surveyed and the results that would have been obtained if the entire population had been surveyed, right? Sampling error is caused by the fact that samples are not perfectly representative of the population from which they are drawn. Let's say if there is an election and I want to figure out that how many people are supporting candidate A, how many people are supporting candidate A, barabar, right? Clear? So what would be happen in this case? That let's say around around the group of the samples, let's say around 1000 people, i have selected I have selected some random peoples, and the accuracy would be, let's say the exact result or exact data that I am getting by analyzing their sample is 52%. That 52% peoples are supporting this candidate A. But what will happen that if I am going to survey all, if I am going to ask each and everyone's supporting condition, it may be like exact result may be 50% or exact result may be 54%, right? So this is called as exact result and this is called as estimated result. So estimated results are having some kind of differences. The difference between result of a sample surveyed and results that would have obtained. Getting it what I am saying? So it might be 50% or it might be 54%. So 2% of difference might be there. That is called as sampling error. The difference between estimated cost and the difference between exact cost. Same can be taken in the case, let's say if we are taking let's say if we are taking a survey of students, and in any university we are having, let's say, 10,000 students, but here what we are doing, we have just selected 1000 people out of this 10,000. Out of this 10,000 people we have selected only 1000 people, and we have just taken the survey from 1000 people, and they are saying that 65% students are satisfied. 65% students are satisfied with the education that particular college or university is delivering. But if I am going to take the sample of all 10,000 candidate, if I am going to take the sample of all 10,000 candidate, it might be like only 55% students are satisfied, or it might be like 75% student may be satisfied. So here 10% of sampling error may be there because we haven't covered the complete population in it. So this difference is called as sampling error. I hope it is clear, right? Now some factors are there that can contribute to sampling error, and that are the size of the sample. So larger samples are less likely to have sampling error than smaller samples. The method of sampling also have a factor, that some methods of sampling such as random sampling are less likely to have sampling error than other methods such as convenience sampling. And the characteristics of the population, some populations are more difficult to sample accurately than others. For example, population that are difficult to reach or that are very diverse or more likely to have sampling error, right? So the meaning of is that if we are going to increase the size of sample, the size of sample, then at that time the sampling error will be reduced. The sampling error will be reduced. Why I am saying so? Because it is the case where you can say that number of populations are covered. All the people we are covering, then we are going to be nearby the exact result. But the disadvantage of this method, that if we are going to increase the size of sample, definitely cost will increase. So we also need to manage cost also, right? That is why there are, whenever we discuss about the sampling procedure or discuss about the sampling design, or right, so in sampling there are two kind of cost. One is cost of collecting the data and another one is cost of incorrect results, right? So I hope that criteria are clear. The criteria could be like that, so that it cannot be so that the sampling procedure might get in the difficulty and we cannot get the actual data, right? It should not be that much biased with the help of that, right? Okay, now let's focus on characteristics of good sample design. So the sample should be drawn from well-defined population. It should not be like that whatever universe we are selecting for our sample, it is wrong population. It should be well-defined. It's just like that if we are wanting the data of election results, that how many percent peoples are going to support candidate A or how many peoples are going to support candidate B, and we are getting the population who is under 18 age, definitely it is not a well-defined population, right? So well-defined population means it should be above 18, a group of men, women, and all of them, right? Okay. Second one is sample should be large enough to statistically significant. It should not be like that only one kind of peoples are there who only have one kind of characteristics or one kind of, you can say that thought process. So we should have to collect the sample from large enough statistically significant. The sample should be representative of population in terms of key characteristics such as age, gender, and income, right? So whenever we are going to take the samples, so low cost peoples are, let's say if budget is there. So if budget is, let's say, published by the government, right? So in that case, if budget is published and if we want to take that how many kind of peoples are happy with that, so in that survey, low, middle, low, or you can say that low income people should be there, or let's say middle income people should be there, and upper income, or you can say that high income people should be there, right? And it should be a group of men, women, and all of them, right? And they are also from younger age, they are also from older age, they are also from middle age. So then we can expect the true results, right? And sample should be collected in a way that minimize the bias, so that sampling error would be less, so that the you can say that the incorrect inferences should be less. So we have to think all of it. So guys, I hope whatever we have discussed in this lecture are very well clear to you. Please do subscribe our YouTube channel for more such kind of interesting lectures from our side, and do hit like button so that we can understand you are enjoying our lectures and in future you are expecting some more lectures for us. Definitely we are going to provide you quality lectures like that in our upcoming lectures as well. Have a very nice day guys. Jai Hind, Jai Bharat.